Hello and welcome back to another TFT video. Got a pretty good one here today, pretty good gameplay. Playing on the PBE still, set 3. I've played quite a few games so far, and I'm figuring out kind of what the strong builds are right now. There was an update, some things were changed, the splash arts were changed, that was super nice. I'm so glad they did that, because they looked awful. I hated the weird 3D models they had, and now it's back to the same art style, which is great. But in this game here, we are going to be going a Lucian cybernetic build. We're going to try and go for 6 cybernetics, but we don't actually quite hit it. But you can just see the power of Lucian throughout this game. I think he's one of the strongest units right now, especially with that blaster buff. And let's just hop into the video. You'll see for yourself what's going on. Thank you, Past Me, for the intro here. And yes, we are going to be trying to go Cybernetics. I think Cybernetics is a pretty interesting synergy in this game. I don't know, it's just the use of like the items that actively play a role in this synergy. I just think that's pretty interesting. And the reason that we do go Cybernetics from the beginning is because we do pick up a Vi from the very first creep round, which plays a very big role in winning these first few rounds, because Vi is a pretty strong unit. She targets generally the carry, the farthest away unit from herself, in these early fights, and can do a lot of damage, if not one-shot, a bunch of units. So, especially with the cybernetic buff, if you do put an item on her, it can be pretty good. So, we actually end up hitting an early Lucian as well. So we've already hit 4 cybernetics, although they are the 4 easiest cybernetics to hit, because you do have to get a 4 cost and a 5 cost for those last 2. And as you can see, we're beating people with 2 tier 2 units with 0 tier 2 units, which just shows that this is pretty strong. Because Lucian gets more health, Vi gets more health, and they both get more AD. I think it's a pretty solid early game synergy, and it happens to work pretty well late game as well. Even here you can see we're not even level 4, and we are very close to winning a 3v4, and that guy also had a tier 2 unit and a Kha'Zix. So we're not exactly sure what we're going to build completely at this point, so we are just picking up the units that synergize well. Even here, we're beating this guy with tier 2 units. We don't have any tier 2 units. Feeling pretty good. So we are in second place. We lost that 1 round, but it's all right. We're going to look for a sword here. Swords on the Lucian are great. Attack damage is great. We do get the tier 2 Leona as well. And we're just looking for upgrades, really, and to econ. So we do go up to 19. I'm thinking about making or putting the item onto the Leona, which I don't think would have been the smartest choice, because we'd rather have sword on a carry. We get a super, well, okay, we get an early tier 2 Lucian, which is phenomenal. With that Giant Slayer on him, he is super powerful. Up against this guy, he's kind of got a weird build going on. It's whatever. Taking him out pretty easily. Getting into the Krugs, or whatever the heck you want to call these. I do see some Infiltrators, which I picked up. We do have 2 Shakos and a Kaisa, which I pick up just because Infiltrators are pretty strong, but I think I do decide to sell them. I don't really want to go Infiltrators this game, it's just not what I'm feeling. We also pick up 2 Ezreals, and we make a Deathblade onto the Lucian, which I think is a super good item for Lucian, because with the blaster buff, which we put the Ezreal in for, he can attack 2 random units. So it's basically like the blaster buff is almost like Runins in a way. It's a little bit less effective than Runins, but it works for both of them. So it's probably better than 1 Runins. I don't know. So we're already super high in econ. If we do win this round, we'll hit 40, which we do win that round. So we are up to 40 econ already, which I think is pretty solid for also being at 90 health. Gonna level up next round after the carousel. We'll have 62 gold if we win, so we can use that 12 gold to upgrade. Although here we actually go against an Infiltrator guy who we get super close to beating, but he had the 4 Infiltrator buff, which is super strong, and he did barely take us out, which is unfortunate. Here we're going to go for the chain vest so that we can make a locket onto the Leona. It's a great item for Leona. It will buff up our front line, and it gives her the effective cybernetic buff. So now we also have some Vanguards, which I think Vanguards are still very strong. They got nerfed a little bit. I think it used to be 300 armor, now they're down to 250 for the 4 buffs, which I think 250 is still quite a bit of armor, and so many people are going Chronos in the new set. So I think that Vanguards are still a very viable build. We do hit the tier 2 Mordekaiser as well, so we're feeling pretty good. We also have the Chrono buff. We put in a Wukong, which is integral for winning these games. The Chrono buff makes our Lucian super, super strong because he has so much AD, so the Chrono buff just makes him attack faster and faster, and I like the Chrono buff a lot here. We do level up to get 4 Vanguards, and we do put in the tier 1 Poppy. Seeing what items we can make, could make Celestial, probably not going to do that. Celestials are not in an amazing spot right now in set 3. I think they can work, but you got to get the right items. You got to get the right carries. Another Ezreal to pick up. We do pick up the Graves as well, because we could theoretically go 4 Blasters, which I think would be super strong with Deathblade on the Lucian. I think Deathblade on any Blaster is going to be very powerful if you can get the 4 Blaster buff. Although the 4 Blaster buff is pretty hard to hit. You got to get a Misfortune for that one. So I've been seeing a lot of Jins recently. Jin seems like a pretty strong carry in a lot of different builds. You can use him with Chronos, you can use him with Darkstar, you can do a lot of different things. We do hit the tier 2 Vi as well, which is pretty nice. And we've got a couple extra Cybernetics on our bench. We are level 7 as well. We make the I forget what that item's called. The gloves onto the Lucian, which is very good because he just kind of inted into the enemy team right there, but was able to heal back up by auto-attacking so often. 3 spatulas on this carousel, which is crazy. Unfortunately, we are last pick, so we are not able to pick up any of those. So since we actually have a spatula, I decided to go for the bow, and this also makes a second tier 2 Ezreal, because I know if I'm going to try and go 6 Cybernetics, one of those Cybernetics is the Ekko, which is an Infiltrator. And if we can put the Infiltrator buff onto onto Ezreal, that's actually going to be super strong, because he'll get his ult off right away, and he'll just be able to pump out a lot of damage very early. We are 2 Ezreals away from the tier 3 Ezreal, which is pretty awesome. Here, I actually think this could be a really interesting build. If you see there, that was a Protector Aurelian Soul, which he casts his ultimate super, super frequently. And if you could get that along with a Celestial, if you could do like Celestial Protectors with an Aurelian Soul carry, that could be crazy. He would like never die because he'd be healing up from the Celestial buff. I don't know. I think that could be super interesting. Unfortunately for that guy, it doesn't end up working in this lobby in this game, but I think that could actually be a super interesting build. So here you can see our Lucian is absolutely carrying us so hard. He's dealing the most damage almost every single round. Our Ezreal's also helping out, and we have a huge front line. So it's super hard to kill all of our frontline units, so Lucian is able to just pump out the damage. Nothing really that special from the Raptors, just a little bit of money. We do use that money to level up and just put in another Cybernetic. We do make the Infiltrator upgrade onto the Ezreal, and we decided to roll down since we are level 8 to try and get the Ekko, which unfortunately we don't get, but luckily we do get the tier 3 Ezreal, which is super strong. This guy's going super mech. Garen, not strong enough to beat us right now. We are able to take him out. We're on a pretty heavy win streak right now, and I'm trying to roll down, hitting my units. We hit the tier 2 Aurelia and then the tier 3 Vi. Feeling really good, feeling super strong. I just really want to hit the Ekko. If we do get the Ekko, then I will take out the Mordekaiser and the Poppy and put in the Fiora and the Ekko when we do hit that, if we do. We are absolutely dominating these rounds. Almost all of our units are surviving every single time. Just, it's so hard to kill our front line, and Lucian is able to do so much damage. We hit the tier 2 Wukong, feeling really good. We do keep rolling down because hitting the Ekko would be super strong. And actually, I saw there was a Kaisa there on the bench, and so I decided to pick her up so that we actually have an effective Infiltrator buff onto the Ekko. Because before, it was literally just there for show and was not really giving him anything there. There's an Infiltrator Ekko there, which would be so nice for us if we could pick that up. Unfortunately, we are last pick, and someone else wants him, so we are not able to pick up the Infiltrator Ekko, and then it really doesn't matter what we get. None of these synergies work for anybody. It's just another item to put onto a Cybernetic at this point. We keep rolling down, a little bit greedy. We could have just saved up our money. We do hit 2 more Lucians, so we are now 3 Lucians away from the tier 3, which would be a pretty nice upgrade. So this guy actually comes very close to beating us, and super, super close. He did get the Zephyr off onto our Lucian, our main carry, but even still, we are able to win that. I contemplate buying the Thresh and replacing the Wukong, but I decide that it's probably not worth it. I'm saving the 2 gloves for Ekko to put Thief's gloves onto him when we pick him up. So that is why I'm not using those items right now. Because there's really no one else to put them on. I mean, we could put them on like Kaisa, but it's level 1 unit, only in there for the synergy with Ekko, or with Ezreal. So here we're up against a tier 3 Yasuo that's actually very, very strong. And luckily, the rest of his team is not particularly strong, and we are able to take him out there. Another Fiora. We've hit so many 5-cost units, but unfortunately not the one that we need. Here we are up against the creep, the Kayn with a Ginsu's, which is a fine item for us. It's not super useful on any of our units, but we will put it onto the Ezreal just to get him to be attacking more, attacking quicker, and we can get a bunch of early stacks with the Infiltrator buff on him as well. Kayn one-shots our carry, unfortunately. And he does something really weird here. He just heals completely, and I don't understand exactly why that happened. And I was a little bit nervous that he would start one-shotting everybody and keep healing up every time, but he didn't heal up that time, so I don't know what's going on. Up to 23 gold. Not too many rounds left in this game, no matter how it happens, how it goes. So just going to roll down and look for the Lucian upgrade and hopefully the Ekko. There is a Jace there, which we could replace Poppy with, but since we're going for Ekko anyways, we don't need to waste our money on that. We hit the tier 3 Lucian, which is huge, super awesome upgrade, but we're still looking for the Ekko, which would still be super nice, and unfortunately, we don't get him. Super sad. This guy's got a 3-star Shaco and a 3-star Kaisa. That's pretty scary, especially because they get onto my backline. But luckily, we are able to... Oh, yes! I forgot about this. Ekko just 1v5s here. The Leona is super tanky. Ekko's ult does so much damage, killing 2 units in 1 shot. And he is able to 1v1 the Annie, and we do take that guy out. Very close round once again. Very close to losing that one. No point in saving our money. It's going to roll down. Cross our fingers for the Ekko. Unfortunately, we do not hit it. We do get the tier 2 Fiora finally, which is nice, but not super useful. I decide Maybe I'll take out our Vanguards to see if maybe that'll make us lose a round, honestly. Uh, we do put the items onto the Cybernetics to give them the upgrade, the buff. And we do make these gloves onto the Aurelia. This guy's got the Force of Nature. He's got so many units in, but unfortunately for him, that just makes our Lucian do more damage with the Deathblade stacks, and he does so much damage. He's able to 1v1 the Jhin, and the last guy is taken down to 2 health. We fit so many 5-cost units, but unfortunately no Ekko, and this is our last chance to hit him, and unfortunately he does not pop up. Super sad. Would have loved to get the upgrade, but alas, that is not what happens. Keep in the tier 1 Kai'Sa, I guess, because we need that Infiltrator buff. And at this point, I'm pretty sure we're not going to lose. I see the Blitzcrank is over there, so I know I'm going to change the Fiora for the Ekko at the last second to counter that, and then move the Ekko back into position. Look at him. He's got 10 units on the board, but he's got lots of 1-costs. Unfortunately for him, that is not what he wants, and once again, it is down to our Lucian, just absolutely demolishing everybody, dealing tons of damage, Ezreal as well, and we are able to win that one. So, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.